The Sunda Kingdom was a Hindu kingdom located in western Java from 669 to around 1579, covering the area of present-day Banten, Jakarta, West Java, and the western part of Central Java. According to primary historical records, the Bujangga Manik manuscript, the eastern border of the Sunda Kingdom was the Pamali River and the Serayu River in Central Java. Most accounts of the Sunda Kingdom come from primary historical records from the 16th century. Historiography. Knowledge of the kingdom among Sundanese people has been kept alive through Sundanese Pantun oral tradition. The chant of poetic verses about the golden age of Sunda Pajaharin and the legend of King Siliwangi, the most popular king of Sunda. Most account and records of the Sunda Kingdom came from manuscripts dated from a period later than the Golden Age, such as Wongsagata, Karita Parahiangan, Kidung Sunda, Bujangga Manik, and Pustaka Rajarajarai Boom Nusantara. Several stone inscriptions also mention the kingdom, such as Jabupati, Kuali, and Batu Tulish. Historical sources about the Sunda Kingdom. The earliest reference to the name Sunda being used to identify a kingdom is the Kebun Kopi II inscription dated 854 Saka. The inscription was in Old Javanese script, but the language used was Old Malay. It translates as follows: "This memorial stone is to remark the saying of Rakrian Jurupang Lambat in 854 Saka, that the order of government is returned to the power of King of Sunda." The inscription Chandra Senkala written 458 Saka. However, some historians suggested that the year of the inscription must be read backward as 854 Saka because the Sunda Kingdom could not have existed in 536 AD, in the era of the Kingdom of Tarumanagara. Another reference to the kingdom is the Jabupati inscription, which consists of 40 lines written on 4 pieces of stone found on the Serayu River bank in Sibadak, Sukabumi. The inscription is written in Old Javanese script. The 4 inscriptions are now stored at the National Museum in Jakarta under the codes D73, D96, D97 and D98. The contents of the inscriptions: peace and well-being. In the year of Saka 952, Kartika month on the 12th day on the light part, Hariang Day, Kaliwan, first day, Wuku Tamba. Today is the day that King of Sunda Maharaja Sri Jabupati Jayumanahan Wisnamurti Samarawija Sakalabuwana Mandaliswaran and Itaharo Gaudana, Wickramatunggadwar, makes his marks on eastern part of this Sangwayang Tar Park, made by Sri Jabupati King of Sunda. And may there be nobody allowed to break this law. In this part of river catching fish is forbidden, in the sacred area of Sanghyang Tar Park near the source of the river, up until the border of sacred Sanghyang Tar Park marked by 2 big trees. So this inscriptions is made, enforced with an oath. Whoever breaks the law will be punished by these supernatural beings, die in horrible way, like the brain being sucked, blood being drunk, intestines being destroyed, and chest is split in 2. O being known by all the spirits. The date of the Jabupati inscription may be the 11th of October 1030. According to Pustaka Nusantara, Pawa 3 Saga 1, Sri Jabupati reigned for 12 years, from 952 to 964 Saka. The inscription has an East Javanese style in lettering, language, and style, and mentions the current king by name. Copper plate letters dating to the 15th century, including royal instructions, also imply the existence of the Sunda Kingdom. Kingdom. The copper plate inscription of Prasastika Banten reads that Raja Rahyangnas Kalawastu Kankana sent an order through Hyangniningrat Kankana to the Suzuhunan of Pakuan Pajaharan to take care of Dayohan in Jayagiri and Sunda Sembawa, banning the collecting taxes from the residents because they were knowledgeable about the religion and worshipped the gods. Prasastika Banten 2 copper plate inscription announces Sri Bujangga Maharaja, the king staying in Pakuan, approving an already delineated sacred estate put at the disposal of the Wikus, which must not be split as it houses facilities for worship, which belong to the king. Prasastika Banten 3 copper plate announces the king of Sunda's sanctions of holy construction in Sunda Sembawa. The Prasastika Banten IV inscription says that Sri Bujangga Maharaja, who ruled in Pakuan, sanctioned a sacred place at Gunung Samya. The mentions a similar sacred estate to the one described in the Prasastika Banten II inscription. The primary source that contains informations about the daily life of late 15th to early 16th century Sunda Kingdom was found in Bujangga Manik manuscript. The names of places, culture and customs was described in great detail. It is one of the important specimens of old Sundanese literature. The main character is Prince Jaya Pakuan alias Bujangga Manik, a Sundanese Hindu hermit who, though a prince at the court of Pakuan Pajaharan, preferred to live a life of a man of religion. As a hermit he made 2 journeys from Pakuan Pajaharan to Central and Eastern Java and back, the second one including a visit to Bali. After his return he practiced asceticism on a mountain in Western Java, where his bodily existence came to an end. The manuscript dated from pre-Islamic Sunda. The language represents an older stage of Sundanese. It displays a marked influence from Javanese but does not contain one word which is traceable to Arabic. In the content of the story, too, Islam is completely absent. This manuscript, specifically the mention of Majapahit, Malacca and Demak, allow us to date the writing of the story in the 15th century, probably the later part of this century, or the early 16th century at the latest. Historical sources from China. According to F. Hurt and W. Rockhill, there are Chinese sources concerning the Sunda Kingdom. At the time of the Southern Sung dynasty, the inspector of trade with foreign countries, Chao Jukue, collected reports from sailors and merchants who had visited foreign countries. His report on far countries, Chu Fankai, written from 1178 to 1225 AD, mentions the deep-water harbor of Sintio. Chu Fankai reported that, all along the shores, people are dwelling. The people are working in agriculture. The houses are on poles and the roofs are thatched with the bark of the leaves of palm trees, and the walls were made with wooden boards tied together with rattan. Both men and women wrap round the loins a piece of cotton, and in cutting the hair they only leave it half an inch long. The pepper grown on the hills is small-grained but heavy and superior to that of tarpan. The country produces pumpkins, sugar cane, bottle gourd, beans and eggplants. As, however, there is no regular government in this country, the people are given to brigandage, on which account foreign traders rarely go there. According to this source, the Kingdom of Sunda produced high-quality black pepper. The kingdom are located in the western parts of Java near Sunda Strait, corresponds to today Banten, Jakarta and west part of West Java province. According to this source, the port of Sunda was under Srivijaya Mandala domination. Port of Sunda was highly possible refer to Port of Banten instead of Kalapa. Its capital is located 10 kilometers inland and southward in Banten Jurong near Mount Pulosari. The Chinese book Shunfeng Xiang Sung from about 1430 AD relates, in this voyage eastward from Sunda, Sunda, along the north coast of Java. Ships steered 97.5 for 3 watches to make Kalapa. They then followed the coast, finally steering 187.5 for 4 watches to reach Cirebon. Ships from Banten proceeded eastward along the north coast of Java, past Kalapa, past Indramayu Head, past Cirebon. According to this source, the port of Sunda was located west of Kalapa and later identified as port of Banten. Historical resources from European explorers also report the existence of the Sunda Kingdom. Tomé Perez from Portugal wrote in his report, Suma Oriental, some people affirmed that the Sunda Kingdom take up half of the whole island of Java. Others, to whom more authority is attributed, say that the Sunda Kingdom must be a third part of the island and aid more. It ends at the river Kimanuk. The river intersects the whole island from sea to sea in such a way that when the people of Java describe their own country, they say that it is bounded to the west by island of Sunda. The people hold that whoever passes this strait into the South Sea is carried off by violent currents and unable to return. The Portuguese report is dated from a later period of the kingdom, shortly before its fall to forces of the Sultanate of Banten. Formation and growth. According to the Bujangga manuscript, King Taras Bawa from Sunda Sambawa, a vassal kingdom of Tarumanagara, succeeded his father-in-law as the 13th king of Tarumanagara. Tarumanagara's prestige and power had been declining, likely due to a series of invasions from Srivijaya. Wishing to restore the glory of King Purnawarman, who reigned from the Purasabha of Sundapura, in 670 AD, Taras Bawa renamed Tarumanagara to the Sunda Kingdom. This event is confirmed by a Chinese source mentioning Tarumanagara's last envoy was in 669 AD. Taras Bawa sent his emissary to the Chinese emperor at the time to advise him of his ascension to the throne in 669 AD. He was crowned on the 9th of the month of Jesta in 591 Saka, which corresponds to the 18th of May 669 AD. Separation of Gala and Sunda Kingdom. According to the Bujangga manuscript, Retikandayun, the lord of another former vassal kingdom of Tarumanagara, Gala Kingdom, used the establishment of the Sunda Kingdom as an excuse to split eastern Taruma from Taras Bawa's Sunda. Since the crown prince of Gala was the son-in-law of Queen Sima of Kalinga, a Hindu kingdom in central Java, Retikandayun, supported by Kalinga, demanded that the remnant of what was known as Tarumanagara's territory be divided into 2 kingdoms. Finding himself in an unfortunate position and unwilling to risk a civil war, King Taras Bawa granted Retikandayun's demand. In 670 AD, Tarumanagara was divided into 2 kingdoms, the Sunda Kingdom in the west and the Gala Kingdom in the east, separated by the Tarum River. Sana and Purbasara. Taras Bawa was a good friend of Bratasena of Sena, the 3rd king of Gala. He was also known as Sana, cited in the Kangal inscription, and Sanjar's uncle. This friendship encouraged Taras Bawa to take Sanjar as his son-in-law. Purbasara succeeded Bratasenawar on the Gala throne by in 716. Purbasara was Retikandayun's grandson twice over. He was the child of his eldest son, Batara Dang Hyanguru Sempakwaja, the founder of the Galungung Kingdom, and through his youngest son, Mandaminiak, the 2nd king of Gala. Purbasara and Sena were brothers as a result of an affair between Sempakwaja's wife and Mandaminiak. Sempakwaja could not succeed his father because he was toothless, a shameful physical handicap considered unsuitable for a king at the time, so his younger brother inherited the Gala throne from Retikandayun. However, the son of Sempakwaja still felt he deserved the throne of Galuh. Moreover, King Sena had a doubtful scandalous origin, which fueled the Purbasara rebellion and the determination to take the Galuh throne from Sena. With the aid of his father-in-law, King Indraprastha, from a kingdom near present-day Cirebon, Purbasara launched his coup on the Galuh throne. Defeated, Sena fled to Kalinga, the kingdom of his wife's grandmother, Queen Shima. Reunification of Sunda and Galuh. Sunda Kingdom and Galuh Kingdom coexisted under a strange and complex relationship, occasionally united under one king, and at other times allied kingdoms under different rulers. Since the crown prince of Sunda died before King Tarasbawa, Princess Dekankana was hailed as the heiress of Sunda. She married Rakian Jamri, son of Bratasinawa and Princess Sanaha. In 723, Jamri succeeded Tarasbawa as second king of Sunda. As the lord of Sunda, he was known as Prabhu Harasdama, and when he ascended the throne of Galuh he was known as Sanjaya. The two kingdoms united as the Sunda Kingdom under the following kings: Sanjaya with the capital city in Kuala Galuh, Tamprana Rakian Panaraban with the capital in Kuala Galuh, Wuvas with the capital city in Pakuan, Dharmaraksa with the capital in Pakuan, Prabhu Guru Dharma Siksa with the capital city in Saungala. Rakian Jayadharma resided in Kuala. Prabhu Ragasusi resided in Songala. Prabhu Sitaganda resided in Pakuan. Prabhu Linga Dewata perhaps resided in Kuala. Prabhu Ajaguna Waisasar resided in Kuala. Prabhu Maharaja Linga Buwarana resided in Kuala. Prabhu Mankubu Misuradipati, Prabhu Bunasura resided in Kuala. Prabhu Raja Wastu, Niskala Wastu Kankana resided in Kuala. Sri Bajuga Maharaja resided in Pakuan. Sanjaya and Balangantrang. Sanjaya, the son of Sena's sister Sanaha, determined to take revenge on Purbasara's family. He requested aid from Tarasbawa, a friend of Sena. His wish was realized when he became the king of Sunda, reigning on behalf of his wife. He prepared a special force which he placed in the Gunung Sawal area with the help of Rabbi Yutsawal, also a dear friend of Sena. This special force was led by Sanjaya, while the Sunda army was led by Patiang Adar. The raid was launched at nightfall. Almost all of Purbasara's family was wiped out, except for Baimarikso. Purbasara's son-in-law, the minister of Galuh, escaped with a handful of guards. Baimarikso, also known as Ki Balangantrang, was the Senapati of the kingdom. Balangantrang was also the grandson of Retakantayun, as a child of his second son, Resi Guru Jantaka Arafiang Kidal, and was also considered unfit to succeed Retakantayun because he suffered from a hernia. Balangantrang hid in the village of Gegasunten and raised anti-Sanjaya forces. He was supported by the kings of Kunimgan and also by the remnants of the Indraprastha army. Indraprastha was annihilated by Sanjaya as revenge for helping Purbasara to oust Sena. Sena asked Sanjaya to honor all of the Galuh royal family, except Purbasara. Sanjaya himself was not interested in ruling Galuh. He merely attacked it to fulfill his godfather's wish to take revenge on Purbasara's family. After defeating Purbasara, Sanjaya asked his uncle, Sempakwaja, in Galungung to order Dimunawan, the younger brother of Purbasara, to reign in Galuh. But Sempakwaja declined, fearing this to be Sanjaya's trick to annihilate Dimunawan. Sanjaya himself could not find Balangantrang, so he accepted the Galuh throne. Realizing that he was unwelcomed at the Galuh court, and also that he was a Sunda king who must reside in Pakuan, he put Premanadai Kusuma, grandson of Purbasara, in charge of Galuh. Primana di Kusuma at the time was a vassal king. At the age of 43, he was already known as RSI, or an ascetic monk, because of his passion for learning and spiritual teaching since a young age. He is also known as Bhagawat Sahalaja. Sanjaya also had legitimate right to Kalinga's throne. Thus in 732 AD he chose to live in Kalinga and later established the Mataram kingdom and Sanjaya dynasty. In 732 he gave his right to Western Java to his son from Tegukankana, Prince Tampuran. Rakian was a half-brother of Rakai Panangkaran, Sanjaya's son from Sudwara. Rakian Jayadharma. According to Pustaka Rajarajai Boom Nusantara Pawetu Saga 3, Rakian Jayadharma was the son-in-law of Mahisa Kampaka of Singasari. Prince Jayadharma married Dayasingamurti, also known as Dayalemba Tal. Sangrama Wijaya, the first king of Majapahit, was the son of the Sunda king, Rakian Jayadharma, except for Gajamada, who insisted on incorporating the Sunda kingdom within the Majapahit realm. This is the likely reason why Majapahit kings were reluctant to attack the Sunda kingdom. There was a sacred alliance between the Sunda kingdom and the Majapahit kingdom. Prabhu Maharaja Linga Buwana. He resided in Kualigala. He died in the Bubat War Majapahit in 1357 against the conspiracy crafted by the Majapahit Prime Minister Gajamada. The tragedy's prelude came with the intention of Hayamwari, the king of Majapahit, to marry Princess Daya Pitaloka, a daughter of Prabhu Maharaja Linga Buwana. The Sunda king and his royal family came to Majapahit, sailing through the Java Sea, to accompany and marry his daughter to Hayamwari. The Sunda party erected the encampment on Bubat Square in the northern part of Trowulan, Majapahit capital, and awaited the proper wedding ceremony. However, Gajamada saw this event as an opportunity to demand Sunda's submission to Majapahit overlordship, and insisted that instead of becoming the queen of Majapahit, the princess was to be presented as a concubine for the Majapahit king, as a token of her kingdom's submission. The Sunda king was angered and humiliated by Gajamada's demand. As a result, there was a skirmish between the Sunda royal family and the Majapahit army. The Majapahit army decimated the Sunda royal family. Almost the entire Sundanese royal party, including the princess, perished in this tragedy. Tradition mentioned that Princess Daya Pitaloka committed suicide to defend the honor and pride of her country. After his death, Prabhu Maharaja Linga Buwana was revered by the Sundanese as Prabhu Wanji because of his heroic defense of his honor against Majapahit, and his descendants, the later kings of Sunda, were called Siliwangi. The story of the Battle of Bubat is the main theme of the book Kidung Sunda. Sri Bujangga Maharaja. Sri Bujangga Maharaja is a child of Prabhu Wastu Kankana, Prabhu Niskala Wastu, one of Prabhu Wami's sons. Sri Bujangga Maharaja is popularly known as Prabhu Silawami in the Sundanese oral tradition of Pantun. He moved the government seat from Kuala back to Pakuan in 1482. Based on Prasastika Banten and copperplate inscription, he established a sacred estate at Mansamia and ordered that anyone entering was forbidden to disturb this area and forbade the imposition of taxes and other levies because this devasana contained royal facilities for worship. He also announced that holy construction in Sunda Sembawa, which should be cared for and be undisturbed because the area stipulated as the residential area of the Wiku. According to Batu Tulish inscription, Sri Bujangga Maharaja built defensive moats surrounding Pakuan Pajaharan. He built Gaganungan, established huts and sacred Samu forest, reserves for wood destined for offerings, and the Talaga Arena Mahawija Lake. Certainly, there was a good road to Sunda too, the most important harbour of the Sunda Kingdom. At the time of Tompire's visit to Pakuan, Sri Bujangga Maharaja reigned over the Sunda Kingdom. The year of his coronation in 1482 has been mentioned as the birth date of the present-day city of Bogor. However, there was an important settlement at the site already, and Pakuan had been the capital of the Sunda Kingdom under previous kings. The reign of Sri Bujangga Maharaja, also known as Prabhu Siliwangi, was hailed as the golden age of the Sundanese people. The kingdom consolidated its rule and exercised power throughout western part of Java. It also marked the era of great prosperity resulting from efficient agriculture management and the thriving pepper trade in the region. This era of great wealth also marked the beginning of Sunda Kingdom's decline.